Hello, Matt here from RetroOnly.com. Today we'll be talking about whether Sega was purchased by Nintendo. Before we get into that, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. Have you ever wondered if Nintendo actually owns Sega? Maybe you heard or saw that there are Sega games on the Nintendo Switch and wondered what this meant. Well, in this video, we will go over everything you need to know about Sega and Nintendo. So, was Sega bought by Nintendo? Although Sega is not owned by Nintendo, they do have the rights to many of the Sega games. This is why there are some Sega games on the Nintendo Switch, as well as on other Nintendo devices. Sega and Nintendo have a great relationship, but Nintendo does not own Sega. If you want to know more about Sega and Nintendo, you'll want to keep watching the rest of this video. Who owns Sega right now? After realizing that Nintendo actually does not own Sega, we can now get into who officially owns Sega at the moment. Martin Bromley and Richard Stewart are the masterminds behind the creation of Sega. It was originally founded in 1960 on the 3rd of June. The company was originally called Nihon Goraku Busan and eventually was changed to Sega Enterprises. In its early stages, Nintendo was Sega's biggest competitor in the market once it was bought by Gulf and Western Industries in 1969. After they purchased Sega, they immediately began to develop video game consoles. The first video game consoles to be developed by Sega were the SG-100 and the Master System. It all began back in 1984 when Sega executives David Rosen and Hayao Nakayama led a management buyout of the company with backing from the CSK Corporation. The problem was that Sega's next release, the Sega Genesis, was not until 1988. When that console did release though, it boosted Sega's position in the market. However, the big push did not come until 1991 when Sega released its iconic game Sonic the Hedgehog. Not only was it a complete success outside of North America, but it also managed to outsell many games on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, or SNES. This put Sega on the board and made them a big target that Nintendo wanted to take down. However, due to its giant failures in the US later in the decade, when the 32X, Sega Saturn, and Dreamcast consoles failed, it stopped manufacturing consoles and became a third-party developer and publisher. After that, in 2004, the Sega Corporation actually acquired Sega. Sega's Japanese assets were purchased by a group of investors for $38 million. This purchase was led by Rosen and Nakayama, who went on to become the CEO of Sega Enterprises. Did Nintendo buy Sega when they went bankrupt? Even though Nintendo did not buy Sega when they went bankrupt, they were able to make some good deals with them for the future. While Sega and Nintendo were competitors in the gaming console market, Nintendo was still able to keep a professional relationship with Sega and not try to tear down their products. Even at one point, Sega sold more of their new console than Nintendo's new systems. Throughout all of this though, Nintendo did not ruin its relationship with Sega. And because Nintendo was kind to Sega throughout their entire rivalry, Nintendo was able to make some very beneficial deals with them. They were even able to secure the rights to have Sega games on the Wii U, as well as on the 3DS and the Nintendo Switch. This deal was highly beneficial to Nintendo, as popular games such as Sonic the Hedgehog can now be played on many Nintendo gaming consoles. This deal not only helped attract more gamers, but also helped Nintendo capture a huge share of Sega's market. When Sega stopped making hardware and just started doing software, the first platform that they wanted to release Sonic on was a Nintendo console. Sega knew from the very beginning that the Nintendo platforms were where the most passionate Sonic fans were. Unfortunately, the Wii U didn't manage to get as many gamers on the hardware as they were hoping. However, even with Nintendo having Sega games on their consoles, this does not make Nintendo the owner of Sega. It simply just gives them the rights of particular games which they can showcase on their own gaming consoles. Nintendo and Sega have gone on to continue a great relationship that has actually endured to this day. And because of this friendship between Sega and Nintendo, Sega has been able to publish many great games on different Nintendo platforms. This is why when you go to play on your Nintendo Switch, you will be able to find many Sega games, including Sonic the Hedgehog. Is Sonic still around? Even though there are no Sega consoles, you can still play Sega games on many different devices today. You can play on many different Nintendo consoles, as well as even on an iPhone. Sega has even partnered with the developer and has turned Sonic the Hedgehog into an app for your phone. So now, you can play all of the original Sonic games right on your phone. And this is something that many people have taken advantage of, as they carry their phone with them all the time. Because of this convenience, you can play all of your favorite Sonic games anywhere that you want. You can also play Sonic the Hedgehog 2 on your iPhone by simply downloading the app from the App Store. The best part is that all of these games are free on the App Store and do not require you to spend any money to play them. History of Sega. Sega Games Company is a Japanese multinational video game developer and publisher headquartered in Shinagawa, Tokyo. The name Sega got its name from blending service and games together to make Sega. Its international branches, Sega of America and Sega Europe, are respectively headquartered in Irvine, California and London, England. Sega's arcade division, once part of Sega Corporation, has existed as Sega Interactive since 2015. Both companies are actually subsidiaries of Sega Holdings, and this is in turn a part of Sega Sammy Holdings. From 1983 until 2001, Sega also developed and sold many different video game consoles, until eventually they got out of the console market and went just to software. Now that you know that Nintendo does not own Sega, you can correct all of your friends who think that they do. Even though Nintendo owns some of the rights to some of the games and has a good relationship with Sega, they have not been able to or chosen to purchase Sega as a whole. Although there have been some rumors about it over the years, Nintendo has not made any official statement as of yet about if they are going to purchase or even try to purchase Sega at this time or in the future. So if you were hoping that Nintendo would be purchasing Sega or had already purchased Sega to make some amazing games, unfortunately, you will be disappointed. Unless Nintendo decides that they need to purchase Sega to make some more money, they will probably just continue to use the games that they have already made with Sega and have on their consoles already. This has been Matt from RetroOnly.com. Please be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, as well as check out our website, RetroOnly.com.